fourth straight 250 victory here at the WIC. Ricky Carmichael practically owns this town. Call him Mayor Carmichael, because number 4 on board the Honda is running away with yet another victory here at Southwick. Ricky Carmichael's at it again. The number 4 Honda just keeps on winning, and on his way continues to compile record upon record. The winningest rider in Budds Creek history, RC now looks for his 19th straight 250 win and 4th consecutive victory at this track in Maryland. And we welcome you to Maryland for the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championship. Welcome to historic Budds Creek Motocross Park in Budds Creek, Maryland for the Yamaha Nationals. As we get the 250s off and running for yet another week. Todd Harris along with David Bailey and Cameron Steele. And David, what a great week it's going to be. Ricky Carmichael set to go as we take a look at the AMA U.S. Motocross point standings. And Carmichael has looked good from the get-go. For more on that, let's check in with Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, we're getting set to drop the gate in the first moto of the 250s, and it should be an exciting race. Ricky Carmichael, the number 4 Honda, has been on a tear, losing only 1 race so far this year. But hey, he is not only on fire this year, but he has been on fire years past. 6 times he's raced here, he's won 5 and not won 1 time. Unbelievable stats. Also, it's not getting any better for the rest of the competition. From here all the way through in his career, he has 37 wins and 12 not wins. That is incredible. But one guy who's also been on fire here in the past, the number 14, Kevin Windham. In 1999, he won an outdoor national, a great race here, and also won the World GP, beating guys like Stephane Everts. Should be an exciting race today. I look forward for the gate to drop.
Well, I'm sure that Kevin is looking forward to this track. He's done so well here in the past. Also, Carmichael has said a little bit lately that he expects Kevin to be very tough. You've also got Stephane RONCADA moving up to the 250 class. So today is going to be a whole different thing than we saw at Southwick.
As we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid for 250 Moto number 1, a full complement of talented riders today. As David pointed out, a bit of rain. Rain last night, rain throughout the week. That should water the track down nicely, but is there too much moisture out there as the 30 board goes up?
They've done an amazing job to make this track look as good as it did. Yesterday, this was a mess.
250 Moto 1 from Budds Creek, Maryland, and we are off and running. And the familiar number 14 bike of Kevin Windham goes right to the front of the pack. Ricky Carmichael bogged down just a little bit in the back, and as they come through the chicane, it looks like it will be Kevin Windham, your leader.
And he has led just about every race this year. All but about 1 moto he has led. And of course, he's going to be able to get some good results. He hasn't been able to get up there and continue on pulling away like he did at Hangtown, but this is the track where he can do it. Everybody in the field knows it, Todd.
Kevin Windham out in front, number 21, Stephane RONCADA on the Suzuki in 2nd place, and the rest of the factory boys coming through. Ricky Carmichael right now, number 4, just going through on the Honda, sits in 5th place. The problem for Ricky really hasn't been starting. It's just he's just worked his way through the pack, and the rest of the field seems to know it.
He really hasn't had a problem at all, and he just got away with so much going down the straightaway back there to reach up and pull a tear off in a wheelie under full power as he puts a block pass on LaRocco. I mean, Ricky, he does so many things. You're just like, it looks subtle, but it's so hard to do. Right after that, to be able to put a pass on LaRocco, you know, that's not that easy to do, but Mike, for some reason, decided to leave the door open there in the first lap. That was a bad decision.
Carmichael now sits in 4th place. Just ahead of him is number 15, Tim Ferry, on board the Yamaha. So goes Windham, RONCADA, and Ferry. Check that. It looks like Ferry's going to pick up a position.
Well, RONCADA's pretty hard to pass early in the race. He's so aggressive. He just flew off that jump, landed way out on the flat, and it didn't ruin his timing to get into the berm, but Ferry is really pushing him hard.
Tim Ferry on the 4-stroke YZ250F, looking very good right now. RONCADA having some pressure, and there he makes a slight mistake.
Yeah, Stephane had to make it tough for him. He wasn't blocking him. He was just going hard and doing whatever it took to hold on to 2nd place. He would love to be able to get up in there and battle with Kevin Windham and try to take the lead before Carmichael can catch up with these guys, because judging from his record, once he catches up to you, it's over.
Well, that would be huge for Suzuki and Roger DeCoster if Stephane RONCADA could podium here in the first moto from Budds Creek, but Ricky Carmichael is hot on it right now. Number 4 out of Florida, Carmichael currently sitting in 4th place. RONCADA in 3rd. Ferry right now making a move. And Timmy Ferry coming up strong on Kevin Windham, number 14.
Yeah, Kevin knows he's there now, and Kevin's clever enough to know that that's not RONCADA anymore. We'll have to race just slightly different. Both Timmy and RONCADA are very aggressive. They have no problem with getting in there and showing you a wheel or running over your foot or whatever it takes to get the job done.
Moto number 1 from Budds Creek. Windham, Ferry, RONCADA, and Carmichael back after this. And welcome back to Budds Creek, Maryland. The Yamaha National underway. This is Moto number 1, your leader. Number 14 on board the Honda is Kevin Windham, but right behind him out of Largo, Florida, Red Dog, Tim Ferry is coming on hard.
I'll tell you what, all these fans have been watching the weather this week going, man, not another mudder at Budds Creek. They're getting their money's worth now. You can hear them. RONCADA in there, Carmichael. This is going to be good. And Ricky's got to do all the work. He's the guy everyone expects to win. But look who he's got to get by. Oh, big swap by Ferry. I did that one time in Europe, going down a fast straightaway on a 500, and I broke my wrist. That was a violent swap and a good save by Timmy.
Timmy Ferry is all over the back of Kevin Windham, your leader here in Moto number 1. That's number 21, Stephane RONCADA, riding the Suzuki. And then it's number 4, the current overall leader, Ricky Carmichael. And look at this. David, I have not seen them so bunched up like this for a long time. Your top 4 are just running away with this moto.
I love it. This is great. Oh, Timmy just caught Kevin off guard. Kevin looked, he's like, oh, what did I leave that door open for? He knew it was too late. He just had to wait for him to go by.
And RONCADA trying to get in there and make a pass on Windham. Not going to happen on this one. Windham closing the inside line right there, but your new leader on board the Yamaha, Timmy Ferry, number 15. Then Kevin Windham, and Carmichael makes a move. So Ricky Carmichael, top 3. Stephane RONCADA drops to 4th.
Yes, good move by Suzuki to get Stephane in the 250 class. I feel like he's strong on both bikes, the 125 and the 250, but possibly a little stronger on the 250. Plus, he's excited. He's like, hey, I get to ride in a new class. He got a start. He couldn't be happier, but these guys are starting to get away from him now.
Timmy Ferry out in front, leading Moto number 1. Kevin Windham, who got the whole shot, sits in 2nd, and Ricky Carmichael, now coming on, sits in 3rd.
See all the different lines coming over there. Kevin using the outside. Timmy got some confidence to just jump into that outside berm right there. That's how LaRocco got past the first lap. See that swap by Timmy? Man, if he'd have been a little further back on the bike, that probably would have got a lot worse. He was up close, we had a lot of leverage, and then here's Kevin just getting into that outside rut going, oh, shoot.
Wrong line.
You don't see Kevin make those kind of mistakes very often. Now he's got all kinds of pressure from Ricky, so he can't really be too creative in trying to figure out a way to get back up to Timmy and try to put a pass on him.
Well, I've always wondered what's harder, holding Ricky off or passing Ricky. Stephane RONCADA right now sits in 4th place right behind Carmichael. He will try to get a look at some of Carmichael's lines, possibly get back in the podium position. Here's Carmichael making a run on the inside, and Windham once again leaves the inside door open.
And here comes RONCADA to ride through it. So Kevin, I mean, he's off right now. Really surprised me to see that, and he got him back. It surprises me to see that on a track where he's been so successful, so much of the hype saying, oh, wait till Kevin Windham gets to Budds Creek. That's a race he can win. Now he's going to need to change some things, change some lines, and be a little bit more aggressive in order to run with Ricky and Timmy Ferry out front. Ferry was really fast at Southwick last week, and probably some extra motivation from going down in the first or the second corner, having to come from last. A great ride to come from behind, but he still had to watch this guy win another one, and he has something to say about it today.
Ricky Carmichael currently sitting in 2nd place. He is the overall points leader coming into Budds Creek, Maryland. Kevin Windham, who got the whole shot, now sits in 3rd. And Stephane RONCADA, who has been all over Windham, sits in 4th. You got to like the enthusiasm, as you pointed out, David, that Stephane RONCADA brings to Team Suzuki.
Yeah, but if he can do this the whole moto and the next moto, I'll be really impressed. Just look at Ricky, just dives into that inside rut. You know, from the other angle, yeah, once Kevin hit that braking bump and got right here, boom. It's a braking bump, and he can't stop right there. He misses his line, but Ricky had already muscled his way to the inside of him.
Carmichael fully committed to that inside line. Here he comes again as they both slam on the brakes. Ferry gets out of there a little bit quicker. Carmichael takes a look over to his left to see where Windham is, and it's a 2-man race right now. It's going to be Ferry and Carmichael. And David, thoughts of Salt Lake City in the Supercross circuit come to my mind.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to see any weird stuff between these two guys, but there's a history of them not really digging each other and assuming the worst in each other, of their intentions, which may not have been the case, but I don't know that they're really talking through either.
Carmichael right there matching Ferry's line. Goes very hot to the inside and tries to make a run on him, but Ferry's four-stroke just hooks up a little quicker.
See, Ricky's got to be so smart right here. The only way he can hang with that 450 is because that Honda is so fast and he is so light. And he's smart, he's able to take really good lines. He just chopped off that corner back there down at the bottom of the hill and saved so much time. But you know, every time he comes out of a corner, that 450 gives him a face full of dirt and just roosts away. So he's got to be really creative and extra aggressive to get around.
Ricky Carmichael all over the back of your leader, Timmy Ferry, on board the Yamaha. This is four-stroke against two-stroke. Yamaha versus Honda, and what a great battle the fans here at Budds Creek are being treated to. Let's check in with Cameron Steele.
Steve, it looks like Red Dog's got some fire inside today.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's motivated. He knows he can run up front, and hopefully he can pull away.
We know he had some words with his teammate Chad Reed. Is there some bad blood in the semi? Is that what's maybe pushing him on today?
No, everybody loves each other, Cameron. Thanks.
Oh, Steve is so funny. I love being around those guys, and of course, with helping Villeman some, I get to see Steve behind the scenes, and he keeps things light over there. And there's not really a reason to pull out any kind of bad blood between those two guys. They're teammates. I see them get along just as much as I've seen them, just unhappy with each other. But as long as it doesn't get destructive to where they're both doing terrible,
right,
and there's nothing wrong with that. We had it at Honda. I've mentioned that in other shows, and it worked good for us.
And how about Cameron Steele asking the tough questions?
Yeah, well, Cameron, that's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Exactly. Your leader, Tim Ferry, number 15 on board the Yamaha. In second place, Ricky Carmichael. Carmichael's starting to fade just a little bit, David, and you talked about it earlier. He is getting roosted every time they go into a corner by Ferry. As we take a look at the running order, it's Ferry, Carmichael, Windham, and RONCADA. Back to Maryland in just a moment. American pride was showcased at the 1999 250 World Motocross Finale. The title chase was between German pit buyer and Frenchman Frederic Bollet. However, neither rider would factor into the overall at Budds Creek. Stefan Everts, coming off an injury-plagued season, quickly jumped out front. American Ryan Hughes, who competed in the World Championships that year, and Kevin Windham tried to run down the Belgium. Windham would surpass Hughes, but never catch the four-time world champion. In Moto number 2, number 99, David Villeman got the whole shot, but was quickly passed by Windham, who took the lead and never looked back. Everts would finish second, as American Kevin Windham won the USGP in front of the home crowd. Frederic Bollet crossed the line in third as the new 250 world champion. And we welcome you back to Budds Creek, Maryland, the Yamaha National, part of the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championship. Todd Harris along with David Bailey, your leader. The Red Dog, Timmy Ferry, on board the Yamaha. Right behind him is Ricky Carmichael trying to reel him in. And Ferry is doing a masterful job of holding off Carmichael, David.
And you know what? Besides the fact Timmy's riding really well, the way the track has developed, it's hard-packed and slick everywhere except when you get to the berm. But the berms are so soft, you can't just go in and hit them hard. Some of them you can. Ricky hit this one really hard the first lap. But most of them are soft, so what you got is a hard-packed surface, and I believe that four-stroke of Timmy is just hooking up a little bit better. And if he starts to get sideways and needs a little bit of that berm to keep him getting all the way sideways, he can go out there and tap it and have a little bit more torque to pull him out of that soft stuff. Where Ricky is really fighting it. He's fighting the roost as well. He keeps wiping his face, and the way he's doing that, it doesn't look like he's pulling a tear off. I don't know. It's hard to see up close, but look at being directly behind that bike,
right,
getting that roost. Besides the fact that it hurts, you can't see anything. There he does it again. He wipes it a little bit.
And he's not getting a tear off, which leads me to believe that he maybe had pulled off all his tear offs on one of the last laps.
Well, Oakley's got a really great system to where there's 7 tear offs all together. It's like 1. So you can put on 4 tear offs. It looks like 4. And there's 28 of them. And, to pull them all off at once is pretty frustrating, especially in the situation he's in.
Here comes Carmichael again, all over the back of Timmy Ferry. Ferry, your leader, number 15. Carmichael on the left. Number 4 sits in second place. And Ricky's showing a bit of patience right here, just trying to find the right line, but credit to Timmy Ferry doing an outstanding job.
See, you got to go out and hit that soft stuff.
Oh! Carmichael goes down.
Yeah, that's tricky. All that hard pack stuff, it's got little grooves in it. It's like riding on ice. Good thing they got that bike lowered.
Oh,
Because
man.
he wasn't going to get back on it. And there's Kevin. Now while he's trying to get sorted out, you get Kevin and RONCADA, those guys going, hey, maybe we can attack him right now while he's weak and trying to get sorted out. This is great for Timmy. He should be able to win this race.
Timmy Ferry, your leader by more than 10 seconds. And I'm sure when he comes around, the pit board's going to have somebody. As we look at this accident one more time, Carmichael just looks like he washed out, David.
And he starts to get sideways in the front wheel. That's weird. The rear wheel caught into the groove. You can see that groove behind him, and it just made him go the opposite direction and point straight into the berm. I know that caught him off guard. He was still looking where he wanted to go, but the bike didn't want to go that way.
Look how smart Carmichael is, though. Gets to the bike quickly, pulls in the clutch, makes sure it doesn't stall. But if that had stalled, he'd had major problems on that hill.
Well, he would have been maybe in 4th place right now as it is, but he got up so fast, now he's in a position to still win the overall. Something's hanging off the back of Timmy's. I think that's packing maybe coming out of the silencer. I can't think of what else it would be. There's Cliff White, Team Honda manager, Tim Ferry's dad, and then Bevo. Ricky is pretty close again, and I think that the power is a little bit of a problem. That huge silencer on the 4-stroke is tuned, so it's got to be so dialed in. And with that packing coming out of it, he's losing a little bit of power. So now it's the playing field is a little bit more level with the 250 versus the 4-stroke, and Timmy's just going, give me the white, oh, there it is, the white flag, please. Get this over with. He had to deal with all that pressure in the beginning, and you hate to deal with it on the last lap.
So Timmy Ferry takes him into the white flag lap. Carmichael beginning to come into view. Ricky Carmichael just may run out of time, and what a great moment it'll be if he does hold him off for Timmy Ferry. Think about all the times he's chased Ricky, all the times he's finished second. This will be his chance. Persistence definitely does pay off for Timmy Ferry.
And his dad, I don't think he's going to worry about what Cliff White from Honda thinks with all his celebrating up there on the balcony, but he's got to be so proud of Timmy to see him finally break through and actually beat him. You know, he didn't have luck. I mean, sure, Ricky fell, but think of all the times it went the other way. Ricky was trying really hard and had problems, and Timmy was the one that capitalized on it.
Well, the folks in blue and white are awfully happy today. The Yamaha National, Budds Creek, Maryland. It's Moto #1, and Timmy Ferry is bringing it home.
You can hear Ricky back there. Ricky is trying so hard. He's over jumping everything. Yeah, he doesn't care how hard he lands as long as it's faster. He's doing all that he can, and you can hear the difference in Timmy's bike now. It sounds like a turd out there. It sounds horrible. I know that it's bothering him, even if it's not affecting the horsepower that much. If it was affecting him much more, Ricky would have had him by now, but it really messes with your concentration.
Timmy Ferry's hoping the whole thing holds together for the last few moments, and here it is. Timmy Ferry on board his Yamaha. Looks like he's going to pull it off. Carmichael right there. We got another rider down in the middle. Ironically, a Yamaha rider goes down in front of Ferry. Ferry able to get around him quickly. He makes 2 more turns, David. It's all his.
It had to be a bit of a panic for all the Yamaha guys on the hill watching that Yamaha rider come out of that blind spot and crash. But Ricky, both these guys have done a heck of a job this moto, but can definitely congratulate Timmy. Maybe it's a little early to be doing that, but he's only got a couple corners to go now.
Well, Ricky Carmichael's done a great job of putting himself in position to still win the overall. Looks like he will finish second. And Timmy Ferry picks up a huge win, a big momentum push for him as Carmichael continues to dog him, but he will run out of real estate. Your winner, Moto #1 from Budds Creek, on board the Yamaha, Timmy Ferry.
Yeah, he's like, what in the heck is going on back there? I think Ricky, that's cool.
Very nice.
He's like, way to go. And you know, when you got a zillion-point lead, you can afford those kinds of gestures.
So Tim Ferry gets the win. We'll talk to the winner after this. Welcome back to Budds Creek, Maryland, Yamaha National. Todd Harris along with David Bailey and Cameron Steele. What a great Moto #1. A battle between Ferry and Carmichael goes down to the very last turn. And this was the sound coming from the pit area just moments ago.
I know. I fell down when you messed up that turn.
I messed up, but I
was like,
hear you.
whoa, bam. And Kevin almost got me.
Well, that was the scene moments ago. Let's go back to that crash, David. What exactly happened?
Well, it's so slippery that you watch the rear tire of Ricky's bike just followed that groove. Good for Timmy, though, and Cameron's with him now.
Well, you guys, check this out. Tim Red Dog Ferry has been since 2001 Unadil, almost 2 years since you sit on top of the podium. This has got to be a sweet moment.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's, you know, Ricky has been going so fast the last couple of years with, you know, especially last year with that, you know, perfect season and stuff. And I gave it everything I had last year. He was just a little bit faster, and just I tried to work on getting better this year, and I'm finally stoked to win one. And he's won so much, and I feel like I'm beating the best rider ever, and no happier feeling for me than that.
Did it help earlier in the season when Kevin Windham beat him in a moto? Did that give you and maybe some of the other guys that, hey, you know, this guy's beatable? Were you guys maybe thinking it was too hard to beat him at that time? No,
not really. I mean, everybody's beatable. You know, Ricky, he fell over that moto, and Kevin, he let Kevin get a hole shot like that, and he can check out, and you'll never see him. He's done it before, and I knew he was going to be strong coming into this national season.
Last thing, what's different about Tim Ferry today? This moto, what's the change, or I mean, what is it? You
know, really, actually, I've been working with Ronnie Tishner a lot of my technique and my starts. My starts are was what helping me get up front. Last couple of years, Ricky's been at the front, and I've been 5th, 6th, back to 10th, and I'll never catch him from back there. And I figured the only way to to beat these guys is to get starts, and starts is my key right now.
Great job. We'll see you in the second moto and see how it goes.
For sure. Can't wait.
All right, thank you, Cameron. Well done, Timmy Ferry. As we take a look at the Honda official results, it's Ferry, Carmichael, Windham, Stephane RONCADA goes 4th, Villeman in a 6th place position, and then Mike LaRocca, Ward, Fonseca, and Joaquin Rodriguez. So all the factories being represented in the top 10, and now their attention focuses on Moto number 2 and trying to get the overall. Will it be Timmy Ferry, Ricky Carmichael, or Kevin Windham? We'll have to wait and find out. Let's send it back down to the podium and Cameron Steele.
I know you said before the track was really one line, and is that what happened? You followed him right into the same mistake?
Pretty much. You know, it's really one line back there, and it's slick, and he bobbled, and then I bobbled, and but you know, he was riding really good, and I need to pick it up a little bit. But you know, we want to get this championship, and second is as good as the first. Even though I'd like to win, but hey, man, there's got to be another winner sometimes.
We'll see you in Moto number 2, Ricky. Great job.
All right, thanks.
Well, Kevin, we were thinking you got in front there, that you would just check out. What happened?
Yeah, I was ready to run, no doubt. I had a clean shot, clean vision, and had my mind set on checking out. It just didn't happen. Ferry and Ricky both rode a great ride, obviously. You know, I was doing everything I could to stay with them. But I stayed consistent. You know, I have a couple things I want to try for the second moto. This track here at Budds Creek is very tricky today. It's soft on the outsides and slick on the inside, so I got some things I want to try, and you know, definitely didn't get tired. I just didn't have the speed from the start.
Hey, get the motorhome packed up, the station wagon, and head on out to Michigan, Ohio, and New York. The month of July is going to be good for AMA Racing. Right now, it's time for this week's edition of the Racer X Pit Pass.
On the 442, Mark Waddle.
Welcome to Budds Creek. Let's go! When we return to Budds Creek, Cameron takes the Sobe Suzuki Fast Lap after this.
Well, people at home, it's time for your favorite TV reporter to go out and show you the course with the Sobe Suzuki Fast Lap. Put the camera on my helmet, go out and ride as quick as I can. And hey, it's a little gooey out here. It's been raining in Maryland, so don't give me a hard time if I'm going a little slower than normal. Well, if I go any slower than normal, you're gonna have to really throw some rocks at me. Hey, this place is the king of off-cambers. What does that mean? That means when a corner, you go around, it's going away from you. Scary for a guy like me, but let's go check it out. You get it started with a downhill starting straight into a right-left chicane, and then you're going to go down into the left-hand turn where Doug Henry landed when the course was going the other way in his infamous crash. Down the back straight, it's kind of soft, and into your next right-hand turn. Right here, when the track went the other way, I landed on my head off the ski jump, but now it's a big downhill. Land, get off the gas. You're having fun. It's a 180. Back up. Pick a rut. get on the gas, and up into the off-campers. Next up are the infamous off-campers, a right, a super gnarly left, and then another right, and that's going to take you into the downhill little tabletop, into another tabletop left-hand turn, into the little whipper jump, and then a right-hand turn, get on the gas wide open over the blind top of the hill, right-hand sweeper into the super tight section, and then to the finish line jump. You're not done yet, though, because you got another off-camber left, super slippery, and then into this back section where the jumps are. You pick it up, you do tabletop right here, lots of ruts. You're gonna land, pick a line, you drag your pegs off the double, set up, this can kick you over the bars, tight right-hander, and then into what I call the alligator pit. Look at all the water, it's totally off-camber. Oh, pick your line, slide around, and get going. Out of the off-camber over a rise, a right-hand turn into where they lay down a bunch of sawdust, and then the Superman downhill jump. If you want to double it, well, you better have some huge cojones, and then into the puke corner. Smells terrible down there. Left up the hill, right past mechanics, and that's your Sobe Suzuki fast lap.
All right, thank you very much, Cameron, as we get set for Moto number 2. Timmy Ferry looking to make the sweep, David.
Taking an extra look at the bike, Steve Mathis doing some work to it. There's Alan in the background from Fly, taking care of him, making sure that the helmet's dialed in, doing some work to the track, everything getting set to go. You know what Carmichael's going to do. He's going to try to check out with this thing, and the pressure's all on Ferry now. I don't know if he's used to that.
As we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid, the track being repaired, as David said, and they have done a great job. A lot of moisture, as Cameron pointed out in his report. There you see what he called Alligator Alley. And the 30 board is sideways. We are set to go. Moto number 2. The definitive moto here from Budds Creek, Maryland. And look at Carmichael, what a great line. Huge pile up in the back, it's a massive sig alert, and that is gonna take out about a dozen riders right off the bat.
And Windham, Ryan Clark just getting going. Windham looked like he high-sided off the back of somebody, and that just started a whole domino effect. And
bad news for everyone else.
Look who comes out smelling like a rose.
You know, we had this conversation the other day. He may not be the fastest rider all the time, but I believe Ricky Carmichael is the most opportunistic.
Just always in the right place at the right time. Still no Tim Ferry. Chad Reed going by. So there goes the overall for Timmy.
And Carmichael, if he could hold on and win this second moto, David, he picks up yet another overall.
Another good one for Nathan Ramsey, who's just trying to claw his way back to the front, but I'm impressed with RONCADA. All those 4-strokes out there, jumps on a 250. Not that much practice on it. He knows how to ride one, but still, he's not totally dialed into that bike, and to pull off 2 great starts and run up front. And that's awesome for Stephane, and I'm happy for DeCoster over at Suzuki, who's had such a tough couple of seasons with that team.
So right now it's the Hondas going 1 and 2. Carmichael out in front. Nathan Ramsey sits in second, and in third, number 21 is Stephane Roncada. And I have a feeling that Fox gear is going to stay mighty clean here in moto number 2.
What a move by Roncada.
He likes the 250. You can tell.
Yeah, he doesn't stop as fast as the 125. But I think he had to make that pass. It was clean enough. He didn't knock Ramsey down. He wants to run with Ricky, or at least as close as he can. Learn a little bit, try to get into that rhythm, figure out some of the lines he's taken, how long he leaves it on into the corners, how early he gets back on it. That's just going to help him so much in the races to come. Nick Way with a great start. Fonseca's all the Honda guys up there, except Larocco. He's still back a bit.
Nathan Ramsey currently running in third place. Stephane Roncada makes a very dicey pass on him to get that second place position. And then Yamaha finally gets a rider up there in number 27, Nick Way.
Nick is a great rider, but like Timmy said, if you don't get starts, you don't really get to see these riders' potential. You look at results, a 10th and a 13th, so what? But that when you're starting in 15th or 20th, to get those kind of results is great. It's hard to tell exactly what happened, but when you got a V like that, Kevin, he high-sided off the back of somebody, and just everyone was going down. There was no avoiding that. That is, a lot of those riders, they can't even get going for a little bit. See Ricky putting an aggressive move on Ramsey. Ramsey actually had the lead. Ricky out jumps him. And then watch what happens here. Bobby Bonds on the Kawasaki gets sideways. There's a violent swap right in front of Larocco. Tags him, Larocco over the bars.
Watch the bike.
Tough impact, but at least he landed off to the side in that cushion. bike goes off into the near the crowd. It's a good thing they had fencing and the crowd is back a ways from the track. You think, man, I want to be closer to the track. But that's one of the reasons you don't want to be close to the tracks. You never know when a bike's going to come flipping towards you.
Keep your head on a swivel when you come to these races. Meanwhile, Ricky Carmichael looking fresh and clean out in front. Stephane Roncada, though, number 21 on the Suzuki, trying to reel him in.
Beautiful traction. Came out of that corner and just carried the front wheel about 2 inches off the ground all the way down that straightaway. And pulling away from third, staying close to Ricky. And Ricky's no stranger to having Roncada on his tail before. Actually, the opening round last year at Glen Helen, Roncada actually reeled him in a little bit. And, but I think Ricky feels confident that before the end of this race, he's going to be able to put a little bit more distance on Roncada and secure this win and the overall.
So it's a two-man race here. Budds Creek, Maryland, Moto number 2, the Yamaha National. It's a Honda dominating right now with their rider, number 4, Ricky Carmichael, out in front. Number 21, Stephane Roncada, sits in second place. Roncada got a 4th in the first Moto, so he is looking good for a possible podium visit. And we haven't seen Stephane since, what, Minneapolis and Supercross on the 250 when he went into that berm?
And you know, all you amateurs watching riders, watching these guys, different things they do, both those guys came into that long right-hander through the braking bumps and all that, sitting down. People are like, oh, you got to stand up. No, you don't.
Carmichael's your leader, followed by Roncada, Way, and Ramsey. Back to Budds Creek in just a moment. Welcome back to Budds Creek, Maryland. This is Moto number 2 in the 250 class, and not a banner day for Timmy Ferry.
How's the fire coming out of that sound?
That's like Batmobile material. It's not even intentional, and he's having all kinds of problems. This is what precipitated this incident.
Well, he's just trying to square that corner, trying to come through the pack. Oh, just got into a wheelie. His front wheel hit Johnson. There goes Clark, the two privateers that battled Supercross. And kind of an odd place for Ferry to be sitting, a tough place to get going, even tougher than where Ricky was in the first Moto. And then to try to start that bike and flames coming out. I mean, I guess we could say he went down in flames. That was bad, but I couldn't resist.
I'm not even going to touch that one. We have a Chad Reed sighting, an all points bulletin put out for number 22 on the Yamaha, and he's got a great battle going right now with Ernesto Fonseca. Nice pass on the inside, but can't finish the deal. Goes to the outside in that soft stuff, David, and Ernie holds his position. Yeah, the track, you know, like Kevin and those guys are talking about, being so slippery everywhere. Then you've got, everything's pushed to the outside into a soft berm. And the balance that it takes today to ride on that hard slick stuff, and just to go out and nudge the rear wheel up into that loose berm to keep it sliding out. I mean, every corner is like that. The Australian Chad Reed, who put on quite a show during the Supercross season, took it all the way down to Las Vegas with Ricky Carmichael, now is working on the back of Ernesto Fonseca, number 24. So it's Reed and Fonseca getting together, and this could be an epic battle. Look at this one more time. Well, he just lost his balance. He comes in, he's got a great pass. You can see how hard he came in. The back tire hopped the other way, and it really ruined his momentum. Right there, he did a great job to save it. Most riders would let the front end tuck right there and crash. Chad realized he was going over the berm. He's like, okay, forget it, Fonseca. He's getting me anyway. Let me just put my foot down and wheelie back out of this thing and go after him again. Chad Reed, one of the most talented young riders out there, not having the best outdoor season, but he was stellar in the Supercross circuit. And here he is one more time working on Fonseca. Well, I spoke with him a little bit at Southwick. He said he's having a tough time to find a setup, and I also talked about it there, but I still think that he's just not totally comfortable. You know, we all go through phases like that. I went through them. Ricky went through them. Ricky's searching all over the place for his setup in Supercross. Chad had him beat there, but Ricky's got a lot of experience and a big head start on Chad outdoors. Ernesto Fonseca, number 24, trying to maintain his position. Chad Reed, though, just dogging him all the way through. Ernesto, though, doing a great job holding him off. You know, it surprised me, though, that Ernesto, and he always does this, somebody will be right on his tail, and he'll still go wide. He went wide that time in the same corner where Chad got him before. He went in there a lot faster that time. Beautiful transition right there for Ernesto. He got into that berm, which is not that deep. He laid it in there so hard, he was running the risk of dragging the frame and popping the wheels up out of that rut. This is the battle for 5th place. Chad Reed currently sits in 6th, number 22 on board the Yamaha. Number 24, Ernesto Fonseca on the Honda factory ride, and here comes Reed again. Now Reed's setting him up. He's inside, outside, working him and making Fonseca think. Chad Reed now going to the outside one more time. Ernesto really, he's got it pinned all the way in. Comes in hot. Here comes Chad Reed on the inside. Champ, you call it, they come together, a slight bump. No harm, no foul. Ernesto maintains his hold on 5th place. Chad Reed, though, is not backing off. Goes to the inside, squirts it just a little bit, and makes the pass.
What a nice move through that inside berm. He got in there, just jumped out of that rut. Ernesto trying to do so. Oh, no. That was a mistake by Chad. And Ernesto, that's one reason he never followed. I'll bet you $1 million that if that had been Ricky Carmichael following Chad through that corner, he'd have been to the inside and he wouldn't have got collected in that problem.
Ernesto goes to the tear-off, and he slides back to 6th place. Chad Reed in 5th. Kevin Windham now in 7th, who was involved in that opening lap melee, the big Sigler pileup, and Windham has already worked his way back into the top 10.
Great ride. He's got Dowd in tow with him, and Chad doing the over rev. First time I saw Chad ride on a Supercross track, I thought he crashed or something. I turned around and look, and he's still going. He revved that thing so much, not as much as he used to, but Villeman also got collected in that first turn crash. I don't think he went down, but he's working his way up as well. The contact right there, Chad just going, man, move. I'm trying to pass you, get to the front, you're holding me up, and that's what that was. Just a tap going, look, man, if you don't go wide the next corner, I'm going to make you go wide. And just jumped out of the inside of that berm. That was beautiful by Chad. That Supercross.
And here's where Chad has that one mistake, David. He kind of hits the brakes hard.
Well, it's the berm.
Ernesto's got nowhere to go.
You know, you're sliding all the way till you hit that big soft berm on the outside. He paused just enough to get Fonseca messed up in it. Now Fonseca's got more pressure from Windham. Kevin doing a great job, just like Ferry did last week, to come from so far behind and get himself into contention. But you know, this is going to really, he's not doing what everyone thought he was going to do here at Budds Creek.
Kevin Windham got a 3rd place in Moto #1, currently battling for 6th right now with fellow Honda rider number 24, Ernesto Fonseca. Windham is number 14, and he is on it hard. Out in front of them, though, is Chad Reed, and Ricky Carmichael is all but checked out with Stephane Roncada and Todd, and there's Ernesto Fonseca taking a look over his shoulder.
It's almost like he's going, oh, it's Kevin, okay, I'll just go wide and let you by. You know, he cruised into that right-hand turn just before the left. He just kind of trail rode in there like he wasn't that aggressive, looked over his shoulder like it was some sort of team order, but it's too early in the season for that.
There's your running order. Back to Budds Creek in a moment. Welcome back to Budds Creek, Maryland. Your leader, Moto #2, number 4, Ricky Carmichael out in front. Stephane Roncada is in 2nd place, number 21. But David, he is well back of Ricky Carmichael. And this is the battle for 4th place. There's Chad Reed, number 22, coming into view. And Chad Reed picks up a spot on Nathan Ramsey, so he's in 4th now, and Nick Way right in front of him in 3rd.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know what line Ramsey had in mind there. He got all mixed up and ended up way wide. That moves Chad up another position. He didn't have to do any bumping to get around Nathan. But good luck getting around Nick Way. Nick is tough to pass. He's riding excellent this moto. I want to take a second to say how impressed I am with Nick. His riding ability and all that. If he was a factory rider, Suzuki's probably been talking to him again this year, going, hey, we got to spot him if you want it. But Nick's a fabulous rider. He just doesn't always get starts and get to run with these guys. Part of that is being a privateer, not having as fast as a motorcycle, and being on a 250. And look at Nathan right behind Nick Way when he lands. Gets a little swap, goes wide, and just gives it to Chad Reed. Chad's like, great. As much trouble as I had to get around Fonseca. Thank you very much.
Chad Reed now working on Way, number 27. Reed is number 22, and Chad has looked fantastic these last few laps.
Well, you know the thing about Chad, look at that. I told you it wouldn't be easy to get around Nick. I thought he had him twice. So did he, I think. Now he goes to the inside. This will be a bump if necessary. Doesn't need to. Now Chad he's fast. He always looks good. Every time I watch him in practice and all that, he looks great. He looks like one of the fastest riders out there. And he doesn't seem to be affected by conditions, whether it's sandy, muddy, dry. So it doesn't matter. He never talks about the track, never complains. But you know, he's nowhere near Ricky like he was in Supercross. And I know it's bugging him. You know, he's not just going, well, I had a pretty good Supercross season. It's my first outdoor deal, and you know, hey, I'm doing the best I can. No, that's probably what he's going to say. He's going to try and smile a little bit, but back in the truck, I know he's furious in the fact that he can't get up there and be the reason people are cheering.
Kevin Windham has moved to 5th place. Here's a guy who was all but out at the start of the race, now in 5th, and unfortunately for Nathan Ramsey, he's gone from 2nd to 6th in a matter of 5 or 6 laps.
But each time that he gets passed by these guys, he learns that rhythm, the pace. And remember, he broke his femur and he was out for a long time. So was Kevin. I think Kevin had a little bit longer. But, you know, it's when I watch Nathan walk, he's still limping pretty bad.
Back to your connection, boys. Cheering Kevin on. No more Mr. Nice Guys. He makes a pass on Nick Way. So Kevin Windham moving up to 4th place. This is amazing.
He was laying in the first turn.
Uh-oh. Nick Way's got problems, and whenever you see white smoke coming out of there, he's got issues.
Yeah, that thing overheated and seized, I guess. What a frustrating deal. I don't know if he was really feeling any of that here. Looked like everything was pretty normal. He didn't detect anything. Just riding a solid race, battling with Chad Reed. Chad able to position himself to the inside.
Well, right now, let's send it down to Cameron, who's with Nick Way.
Well, guys, I'm sideline here with Nick Way. Nick, heartbreaking situation, running top 3. When did the clutch start slipping? I'm assuming the clutch went away.
Well, just how I do the starts, it kind of takes its toll on the clutch. And yeah, I got a good one that time, and it was kind of half used up after the start there. And about halfway, it started slowing down. I just kept loosening it up to play, but it just won't go anymore. I'm really disappointed from my Mach 1 Yamaha team. You know, they deserve better results than I've been getting, and I've been busting my butt. It's too bad that I fell out of the race this way, but it's not over.
Right on, Nick. We'll see you at the next event. Sorry this happened to you.
Well, David, as a past champion, what's worse, crashing at the start of the race or crashing so close to the conclusion?
Well, you like to be in the race and be up front and have a chance, but you know, then we don't get any points. You're like, you know, if that was going to happen, why'd I even go out there? But you know, you look at it as training and experience, and it's just unfortunate. And I should look at Ricky looking for 2nd place. Got to look a while, but I would have never thought that was the clutch. A lot of riders were having that problem in Southwick, having to loosen the adjustment because it kept getting tighter. But no, it looked like the engine seized to me with all that smoke pouring out. Ricky could have written this down in an envelope and
unbelievable.
Said, here's what's going to happen in the 2nd moto, everybody.
Ricky Carmichael scanning the horizon for some competition. He's not going to find it on this lap. Carmichael running away with moto number 2 here at Budds Creek, celebrating for the fans, and Ricky Carmichael will be the overall winner. Look at him. He's looking for someone to race against.
Nice. Hard to say what he's looking at. Probably looking at who's in 2nd or what the battle is, wondering what his points lead is going to be after this moto, because it's probably going to be over 50 points, and he'll have a whole race lead.
So number 4 out of Havana, Florida, Ricky Carmichael, the overall leader, will pad that lead by so many points, David, that it's going to be a situation where can anyone catch Ricky Carmichael?
Well, he's looking back as he takes the win to find out that it was Roncada who got 2nd, pushes everybody back. He's probably wondering, having not known that they went down the first corner, what's wrong with everybody? How did I win by this much?
So Ricky Carmichael takes his Honda back to checkers, and he gets the overall. Here are the results from moto number 2. It's Carmichael, Roncada, and Reed going 1, 2, and 3. Nathan Ramsey slides to 6th. Ernesto Fonseca falls to 8th, and there you see Ezra Lusk and the rest of the crew coming in as we take a look at the Honda official results. Right now, let's send it down to the podium, and Cameron Steele, who's with our winner, Ricky Carmichael.
Well, guys, once again, Ricky Carmichael proves he is a champ's champ, coming back moto number 2 after not a great moto number 1. I mean, still a 2nd place isn't anything to laugh about. Awesome win in moto 2, though, Ricky.
It was a fun ride the first moto, you know. It was really good, and man, I'm out there having fun. I got a killer start the 2nd moto. I don't know what happened to Windham and Timmy. I know I came up on Timmy, I lapped him. I don't know, he must have fell in the first turn. That's a bummer, because he was riding good the first moto, but I got out there, me and Ron, and it was all over, man. We just pulled out, and we went 1-2.
Awesome race. The first corner I want to ask you about, the right-hand turns, are those tough because of the brake or the way the bike's set up?
It seems like all the Nationals almost have like right-hand turns if you think about it, last weekend, this weekend, and you know, it is tough, but you know, everyone's got to deal with it. This first turn is a little scary because it all funnels. It's like a chicane, and it funnels down into one line. So you know, it's dangerous. That's why getting off the gate's very important. So my Dunlop tires were awesome today.
Great finish. Moto number 1, you go back to the pits. Do you change anything? Do you think about anything? It's just a good race for Timmy.
Dude, we didn't. A good race for him. We didn't change anything, and he was just on a rail that first moto, riding really good, and it was good to see that. And you know, I made up some points today. That's the important part, and looking forward to doing some more battle.
All right, we'll see you at Redbud, Ricky. Great job.
Thanks a lot. Definitely got to thank Honda, Fox, Oakley, man, everybody that has helped me. My mechanic, Mike Gosler, and my trainer.
Very tough racetrack. Well, congratulations to Ricky Carmichael as we take a look at our Honda official results on the day. Carmichael gets first by virtue of the 2-1, then RONCADA and Kevin Windham round out the podium. David, what a great day. The track lived up to its reputation.
Yeah, the track was wonderful considering all the rain they had, and Carmichael's just running away with this thing. A whole race lead now, 53 points over Kevin Windham. Windham and Reed definitely need to pick it up. They got a 2-week break now, and they got to go to Redbud with a whole new plan because they might as well hand this thing to Ricky unless they could figure something out.
There you see the air dates for Redbud. We hope you can join us. So on behalf of the champ, David Bailey and Cameron Steele, I'm Todd Harris saying so long from the Yamaha National, Budds Creek, Maryland. A great day for Team Honda, and congratulations to Timmy Ferry picking up that moto win. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.